You know, there's no one around here except you and me.
Are you trying to threaten me? I'm not some kid who will get scared by your good-for-nothing threats.
Really? So, you're not scared of me?
No way, dude. You're just a weirdo with no one to love or care for you. Creep. As soon as I said
Jesus.
that, he took the red balloon
If mistake was a person.
with his sharp
If mistake was a person.
the balloon bursting.
Oh, now you sweating.
Completely.
Now you sweating.
Next still comes into my memory as fragments.
Oh my goodness.
Seemed like a psycho.
Now you were sweating.
At me at full speed. Woo! Today we get spooky. Today we get scary. Today we become free. Hopefully, we're back with second episode of the new series. Excuse me. Fright Night Friday, where every Friday I'll be bringing you guys new videos around horror stories that I've watched and or horror video games that I played. I hope that you guys are enjoying the video or enjoying the series so far. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Excuse me. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. As always, I greatly appreciate the love and support that you guys show the channel on a regular basis. If you are liking the content, please make sure you're continuing to spam that like button. Smash that sub button so you can join the community. Hit that bell notification off to the side so you can be alerted whenever I go live and or post another video. And as always, if there's any other content you would like to see created here on the channel, drop that in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. These are like stories based off of clowns, or true stories based off clowns. I gotta fix this. But yes, these are horror stories brought or based off. They're supposed to be true clown horror stories, and they're animated.
This house recorded a terrifying scene in the middle of the night. Everyone was asleep in the neighborhood when a scary-looking clown can be seen walking to this house porch with a bag drenched in thick red fluid.
Thick red fluid
will be presented through an animated, dramatized version.
Thick red fluid?
I was 12 years old when this incident happened.
Bag on its period.
My
or
dad
something?
went on a business trip for a week, so it was just me and my mom. We lived in a quiet and safe neighborhood where not once in a blue moon any criminal activity took place. It was Thursday afternoon, and I was coming home from school.
This is a black man they got voicing.
The sun was showering scorching heat.
Narration.
There was hardly any people on the road. My house was 2 blocks away, and I often roamed the streets by myself several times before. The heat was getting unbearable, and I could feel sweat turning my t-shirt into a wet cloth. I was feeling thirsty, and that's when I noticed the kids' playground on the side of the road. Did the kids
say I was feeling thirsty instead of I am thirsty?
Without any more delay, I drove my bike into the playground, parked it under this big bushy tree, and rushed to quench my thirst. After drinking cold water and splashing it on
That's them Bob Ross trees right there.
Energy back. Feeling all right, I turned around to walk back to my bike. That's when a scary-looking clown stepped in front of me from the
Oh my!
It was so unexpected that I got jitters as soon as our eyes met. I never feared clowns.
I would have got jitters as soon as I seen him come out the thing. We ain't got to make eye contact.
The clown was big and bulky in appearance. He wore a blue and yellow coat with a rainbow-colored wig on his head. His entire face was white.
Look at his teeth.
With a huge red grin.
Man, looked like he ain't slept in about 2 months. Brushed his teeth in about 3 years. Yikes.
Howdy, kid.
They all different sizes and like, oh my.
For a few seconds. But then I came back to my senses and replied,
"Hi, I've never seen you here."
That's the first mistake. No, that's the second. That's the second mistake.
So
first mistake is standing there long enough to let this man look you in the eyes. Second mistake is you responding to this man. Like, what's wrong with you?
How have you been recently? I heard things weren't going so well.
Why is he?
What are you talking about? Yeah,
bro, what's your problem?
I know that I'm here for you. Me and the rest of the clowns.
Here for me? For what?
Are you crazy? Anytime you need us, just look out your window and imagine my face. I will be there watching over you when you sleep.
Now at this point, I was feeling horrified.
Why wasn't we horrified from the start? Look at him!
Didn't feel friendly.
Look at this
I
man!
wanted to grab my bike.
Why weren't we horrified from the
He was
start?
standing close to it. I feared that if I take one step closer, he will be able to grab my hand. I looked around to see any other human being who might
Why is he
ask for
stuck
help,
in the
but
bushes? That's my question.
unfortunately,
Like, he can't come out the bushes? Like,
once I realized
I got so
my
many
bike is
questions.
the only way I can get home, I decided to use my mind. I calmed down and tried my best to hide the fact that I am scared of him. Instead, I put up a fake smile and said,
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Thanks
man.
for being nice to me.
This story a trip.
and a big smile appeared on it. He
That's your
seemed
third
happy
mistake.
hearing this from me and said,
I thought you would get scared. Every kid gets scared of me.
Look
I
at
just
you.
want to be their friend.
Grown-ass men
To
scared
assure
of you.
him,
I
and when he's
promise you
confident
that,
at the
because I'm
same time,
terrified.
said,
Oh, we can be friends.
I'm
I
29
don't have any
years old.
friends
Shit.
either.
You wouldn't be caught
That's
dead
so
next to me.
sad.
Look at
What
the
is your
side
name,
profile.
friend?
Oh my goodness.
I'm Gerald, and you are? I am the Red Grin Clown, but my friends call me Grinny.
This is the fourth
You
mistake.
can call me that now. Okay, Grinny.
He smiled in amusement and clapped his hands like a 9-year-old.
Why is he
which
looking in the ring
ultimately
doorbell?
looked even
Why did we
creepier.
go from the park to a
He
ring
then
doorbell?
pointed at the merry-go-round and asked,
Would
Now
you
we back
play
at-
with me?
realizing this is my chance to trick him and get my bike, I nodded my head and said,
So many questions.
Sure.
So many questions.
Let's go.
as soon as the clown started walking towards the merry-go-round, I waited patiently for that one window of opportunity. When he was far enough for my bike, I rushed to it, and hearing my heavy footsteps, he turned back to look at me.
Eyes
When he
bloodshot. Why his
realized
eyes
I am
turn
not going
red?
to follow him to that merry-go-round, he started
Now they
screaming.
back clear? Like,
Where
bro,
are
you
you
had some
going?
Visine drops?
You
Something?
said you wanted to be my friend. You lied. Gerald! Gerald!
Bro,
Come
you a
back
grown-ass
here.
man.
I hopped
Like,
on my bike,
what's wrong with
paddled
you?
with my full energy, as if
You
it
gonna
was
be
my
hauling
last
ass
day
after
riding
I'm
it,
watching.
and sped out of that scene. The clown tried to chase me, but I was already out of his reach. He stood on the sidewalk and watched me drive away with a fierce face that I will never forget. Once I got home,
I
ran
guess it
inside
was
my
smart
room
to
and
play it
didn't
that
come
way.
out
Now
for
that
an
we
hour.
see like the
I knew I should've
end
told my
result,
mom.
right? I guess
Then
it
what
was
happened that night
smart to
could've
play
been
like you
avoided.
was his friend, so
The
that
rest
you
of the
can
day went by
have
fine,
opportunity.
and by
I
dinner
would have
time,
just been going. I
I
don't
was
give a fuck.
completely calmed down, thinking
I don't
had
care.
escaped
I
this
don't.
evil
I don't
plan.
like you. Like,
But God,
I gotta go home.
I was so wrong.
My mom told me not to
It
mess
was
with
around
strangers.
1
Stranger
a.m.
danger,
when I
please.
heard knocking
Stranger
on our
danger.
door. I got up and saw my mom going downstairs.
Oh, she
already.
about to get. Whew.
A feeling of
Whole
something
mama.
bad coming our way.
Whole mama.
I followed her down the stairs too. My mom looked at the clock and said,
Who can that be at this hour?
At least it
As soon
ain't
as she
3.
said that, we heard heavy banging on our door. Whoever was on the other side of the door,
Y'all ain't got a
was
peephole?
desperate to get in.
Y'all gotta get the hell up out
My
that
mom
house.
turned
Oh,
the
we got
phone
camera.
down,
Okay, okay.
And what we saw
Okay.
made our stomachs drop. It was the same clown from the park, and he wasn't alone this time. He had a white sack which was covered with red stains. He dragged the sack onto our porch.
Can
and
we
then looked
just
at the
get it
doorbell
out the way
camera
and say
said
blood?
He was looking at us.
What else could it be?
Oh, Gerald.
Juice?
Your friend
Tomato sauce?
Grinny
Like-
is here. Come on, come on. Open up. I have a gift for
Call
you.
the police.
My
Call the
mom
police.
screamed.
What the hell is all this? Who are you?
The clown
We're
brought his face.
talk- Why are we
extremely closer to the
talking
camera and
to this man?
Ask your son, Mom.
Call the
He knows me.
police.
We just became friends. He promised.
Oh
to play
man,
with
these
me.
people be driving me crazy with these
I started
decisions.
to have a panic
We
attack,
still
and
staring
I
at.
could feel a disruption in my breathing, like the fear was choking me already. My mom looked at me. No doubt, she was horrified.
Are
too.
we about to call the police
She
now?
rushed to get her phone to dial
Thank you.
911.
Jesus
and I stood
Christ.
there like a statue, thinking, any minute, this creepy clown will break into our house. The clown went on banging at our door.
Unless that
and
door,
that's when
hopefully
my
that door is
mom
reinforced.
yelled.
I'm calling the cops right now, you freak.
The clown stopped banging, and then suddenly
Why
ran
would
away,
you announce that?
disappearing into the darkness of the night, just like
You
he
think
came.
the criminal gonna be like, oh, okay, go ahead.
So the cops arrived.
I'll just
They
stay
did.
and wait for
My
him.
mom showed them
What
the red
criminal
sack
in the history of
clown has
criminals
left on our porch.
said that?
2 cops opened the sack, and we all.
Why would you
expected
even
to see
say
something
that?
Horrifying, as the sack
Let 'em keep
was
banging on the
drenched
door.
in red, thick liquid. But once they opened it, we found a bunch of rotten red tomatoes squished inside
Oh,
that sack.
wow.
The prank
was
this clown
tomatoes.
played
Wow.
on us
Ain't that
was no
something?
doubt sick Until that night, I can barely tolerate clowns around me, or even
Woo! Pennywise, turn that off.
I just hope none of you ever get to meet this scary clown who referred to himself as Grinny.
These stories don't have titles, so I'm gonna just name them whatever I think. Just like the first episode for the stories that didn't have titles, I just named them what I felt was necessary or
This
made
footage
sense.
was
I'm gonna just do
recorded by
the same
someone
thing
who went to take a walk in the woods and came across
that's
a
crazy.
clown.
That's
the clown
scary.
had a scary smile and a red balloon on his hand.
That is scary.
Suddenly, the clown snapped and burst the balloon he was holding on his hand. And right
It is
after,
crazy.
he chased the person who was recording him. The following you are about to see is based on this scary footage.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think it's gonna be minimal pausing. Don't click out the video. Don't get mad at me. But it's crazy how with clowns, like, cause it was that whole phase with people dressing up as clowns and doing stuff like that. But with clowns, you never know, right? If they're playing a prank, right? Or if it's like literally some serious shit, which is why I can't mess with clowns. Because I don't know if you're serious or if you're playing around.
I was 19
so just
years
take
old
me out
when I
the
decided
equation
to go on my
altogether.
first solo hiking trip. That day, I was about to leave for the hike when my mom called. Her very first words were,
"Judith, please don't wander off the trail. There's a reason why hikers follow them."
Yes, Mom, I know. Please stop worrying so much.
I'm not worrying. You're a
We need a
strong
little bit of
woman. I know you
backstory
can
as
take
to
care of
why
yourself.
she said that.
But there's no harm in
Like,
being careful,
is there a
right?
history
I
of you
promise
not
I'll be
following
careful.
directions? Like,
Make sure you keep yourself hydrated throughout the journey. And don't forget your knife and pepper spray.
Yes, Mom, I remember it all.
Good. That's
why
my
she
girl.
gonna forget
Can
the
I
knife
go
and
now? I
pepper
have
spray?
to finish packing. Sure.
the two
Have fun,
things you
bubblegum.
really need.
Stop calling me
Bubblegum.
that.
Good night, baby.
Good night. Love you.
Love you more, darling.
After getting off the call, I finished the rest of the packing and went to bed early. I thought tomorrow would be an exciting day and I was going to have a lot of fun. The next morning, I woke up early, dressed in my khaki Wilderness Explorer outfit with matching hiking boots.
Okay.
Brand new. I then lifted my rucksack and hitchhiked to the nearest hiking trails located on the outskirts. The day was sunny,
First
and there
mistake.
was no hint of rain.
Don't hike by
So
yourself.
I knew the weather would be pleasant enough.
I don't care how
The
much you
view
like
was
the outdoors.
breathtaking.
I don't care. Don't
Greenery
hike by yourself.
everywhere.
It's people
Sounds
crazy
of
out here.
Birds and the sweet smell of wildflowers made me feel so alive. The hiking trail had small signboards that directed the path ahead.
Second mistake.
I didn't have any fellow
Find
hikers,
signboards
which
probably
made me
ain't
feel
real.
good
They
because
probably
I'm
gonna
not
put you
much
in
of a
and
people
make
person.
you lost.
I was walking and enjoying
Only hike
the
trails you
experience
with people.
when I spotted a
So yeah, if
waterfall.
y'all get lost, y'all can still be together.
Keeping my rucksack under a tree, I went to wash
She
my
say
hands
rucksack?
and face
A
before
backpack?
diving into the sandwiches I made for myself. I walked toward the crystal clear water, and I was just about to splash it on my face when I saw
Whoa!
the reflection of a clown
Okay.
on the water.
That was
standing
okay.
right behind
That
me.
was nice. That
Out
was
of
nice.
surprise, I turned
How y'all
around
hide his hair? Because
quickly,
his hair
but
sticking
the
out
clown
about 6
somehow
inches.
disappeared in that fraction of a second. I got up and called out,
Hello? Is anyone there?
but no answer came. Only a rustling sound of dry leaves could be heard.
Why she gonna say it's her
I ran
imagination?
my hand through my left pocket and made sure my pepper spray was there.
That's your left
just
and
in
right
case.
pocket.
The incident didn't just creep me out, but also made me think how odd it was to see a clown in the middle of the woods.
Second mistake. You're
I
thinking to
watched
yourself.
my
Third mistake. You're
surroundings
thinking
for
to
a few
yourself too
minutes
much.
more. And when everything finally
get
felt
moving.
fine, I got back on the
Next
hiking
destination.
trail.
Thank you.
I was walking,
Thank you.
trying my best to take my mind off the clown, when I heard a burst of spine-chilling laughter echoing in the distance.
Who is that? Is this some kind of sick joke?
I screamed in fear. That's when a hand holding a red balloon came out from behind a tree 10 feet away from me. The hand just levitated in the air, while the person to whom the hand belonged hid behind the tree. Feeling anxious, I asked again,
What the hell is this? Who are you?
Fourth mistake.
and that's when a freaky looking
Entertaining.
clown blocked my way. jumping
like
right from
weird
behind
people
that
like this.
tree.
Ain't no way.
Hello, pretty girl.
I'm already turned
Now
around.
that I finally
Look at his
faced the clown,
eyes.
I was extremely shocked because these woods would have been the last place on Earth where I would expect to see a clown holding a red balloon. He moved his head from left to right while staring at me without blinking.
Like, this man
The
is a
balloon
demon.
in
Look at his
hand
eyes.
immediately reminded me of Pennywise.
Look
from
at his
the famous
chin
horror
structure.
classic, It. But then I remembered, I'm no kid.
Ain't nothing normal
I'm a
about this man.
19-year-old woman who has no reason to fear a clown.
She said a who?
I'm a 19-year-old woman who has no reason to fear a clown.
Fifth
So,
mistake.
I said in a
Trying to be
firm
brave.
voice,
What are you doing here in the woods?
Trying to enjoy a beautiful day.
Fine. Enjoy your day. I better get back to mine.
Saying this, I started walking towards
Towards
the clown,
sixth mistake.
thinking if I
Walking
seemed
in the direction
disinterested in
of
him,
whoever.
he'd eventually move out of my way. But sadly, that didn't happen. Seeing me walk toward him, a huge grin appeared on his face, and he just
Seventh
stood there
mistake.
like a statue.
Continue to
I
walk.
stopped when
towards
I
this
noticed
man.
that he was not moving out of my way. I gathered all my courage and yelled at
Eighth
him.
mistake.
Do you mind?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Trying to
pretty
be
girl.
brave again.
Move out of my way, you stupid clown. And don't
Ninth
you dare
mistake.
call me that.
Insulting
The scary smile he
this
was giving
person.
off faded away, and burning anger took place on his face. Grinding his sharp, freaky teeth, he checked me out from top to bottom and asked,
You know, there's no one around here except you and me.
Are you trying to threaten me? I'm not some kid who will get scared by your good-for-nothing threats.
Really? So, you're not scared of me?
No way, dude. You're just a weirdo with no one to love or care for you. Creep.
As soon as I said
Jesus.
that, he took the red balloon
If
into his
mistake
hand
was a
and popped it
person.
with his sharp,
If mistake was a
the sound
person.
of the balloon bursting.
Oh, now you
came out
sweating.
completely.
Now you sweating.
Next, still comes into my memory as fragments.
Oh my goodness.
Screamed like a psycho.
Now you were sweating.
At me at full speed. It's true that when danger strikes, we tend to panic first instead of dealing with it using our rational senses. So
You
even
done
though
had
I had a hunting knife and
all
pepper
this
spray
time
with
to
me,
panic.
I completely chickened out.
Now you run.
Run in the opposit direction. I could hear the clown chasing me while screaming.
I'm
Now
gonna
we're
get
running.
you. I'm gonna get you.
Sweat was dripping down my forehead. A cold shiver ran down my spine. I could feel my own breath choking my throat, and the freaky clown kept screaming.
I'm gonna get you, and then we will play all night, right in the middle of these woods. Here I come, pretty girl.
I knew if I fell or lost my way, I would be lost from the face of this earth. Because if he does get me then, he will do unthinkable things to me, and my parents won't be able to find me, be it alive or dead. So I ran for my life and made sure I didn't deviate from the hiking trail. And fortunately, I didn't, even under all that pressure. When I finally saw the way out, leading to the highway, I knew I would be saved. I gathered all the strength in my body
She
and
hustling
ran
now.
even faster.
She
As
is
I
hustling.
slammed onto the road, I turned back one last time to see the clown, and he had stopped. Seeing me standing on the highway, and also noticing the truck that was coming from the end of the road, he decided to stop chasing me. I waved at the truck,
I'm glad they
screaming.
explained that because I'm
Please,
like, what the
stop.
fuck? The road
Help
is
me.
like
Please,
the
just
road is
stop.
lava.
As the truck came closer,
Oh, he
the clown
stopped.
waved at me one last time, while
Oh
laughing
my
loudly.
goodness. This story is something else.
His laughter echoed, and that was the last time I ever saw him. I still have no idea what he was doing in those woods in the first place, but I never went back to find out.
Okay. That story was something. It's the fact she had what I counted 10 mistakes. If mistake was a person, that would be the person. Oh my goodness. Then the one time you need to be brave, She runs. Like, I just don't understand. You had all of this opportunity to run from this man, right? You was far from him. You could have ran, right? You could have walked in the other direction, right? No, we're going to walk towards him. Then you stop because he does something, and you still decide to walk towards him again. But it was the popping of the balloon that did it for her. That's what drew the sweat. That's what drew the sweat, was the popping of the balloon. And now we running? Now we can't use our pepper spray that we just checked both our pockets for. Both our left pockets apparently for, right? Now we can't use it? Where the knife at? Like, what? That shit was funny. That shit was funny. They did have the one jump scare that got me with the reflection, and then also, if I wasn't too busy laughing, the chase sequence when he popped out from behind her. That was kind of like a little jump scare moment too, but I was too busy laughing because I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about video number 2. I thought it was a funny story. I thought it was a funny story. We ain't gonna say horror story. I thought it was a funny story. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below of that one as we move to our next one. Our third story here. Let's see. I like how they start them with an actual person to say that this is caught on camera, which I mean is very much possible because there's weirdos out there. I think it's more people dressing up and doing it and then submitting this stuff to people. But you never know. You never know. That last story though.
It became popular to dress up as a clown.
Okay, we got our black guy
scare people.
back. All right.
At first glance, this case does not seem to be very different. But as we will see in this dramatization, there is always dramatization more than meets the eye.
I say that word a lot, and I always thought it was me making up a word. So I'm glad
fear or phobia of clowns. I was never interested in clowns.
What was that phobia?
The eye. Coulrophobia. That word means unjustified fear or phobia of clowns. I was never interested in clowns or people who were afraid of them.
Driving slow as hell.
But since that night, it was
why is
all
one
I
light
could
on?
think about.
Someone gonna pop out of there?
That day, I had decided
why was one light on?
Family to spend the night at a...
Why is one light on? Is that is that
Chinese
like
restaurant.
Significant for later in the story?
We were a little late getting back, but we had a great time. The kids fell asleep in the car, and as soon as we got home,
that's how them
they
flies
climbed
and
into
gnats
their beds
really be
and went to sleep
hanging around windows. They are those lights. They got
I was
that
going
right.
to bed with my wife until the
What
doorbell
the
alerted
was
us.
up with Freddy the Bear back there? Y'all see that? Okay.
Huh? Who could be calling at this hour?
Should I go see?
No.
I guess, honey, but be careful and don't open the door, okay?
Don't worry, Abby. I'll be fine.
Why she gotta talk to him like that? Like, are you known for doing stupid stuff?
Is everything all right? Oh, please, you must help me. My husband fell asleep and I ran away from home. He beats me every day. I thought he was gonna kill me this time. Oh my God, are you okay? Did you try calling the police?
Why don't none of these houses have people?
You must help. He's coming. He's gonna kill me. Open up.
How does he know where
you're at? I'm opening it right now. Hold on just a moment.
Stupid.
I began to shake the keys in agitation, but when I was about to open the door, an idea crossed my mind.
Madam, are you there? Yes. Did you find the keys? Madam, didn't you just tell me that when you ran away, your husband was sleeping? Yes, but he woke up and started chasing me. Is that so? If he was chasing you, how did he have so much time to wait for me to come down and have this talk with you? Lady, leave right now or I'm gonna call the police.
After a few seconds, I thought that woman was gone. I was ready to check the camera and send it to the police when suddenly, another voice rang out.
Open the door.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Timmy. I just
now
got
we're
lost.
kids.
Could you help me?
How stupid do you think we are?
Joke? Get off my property now. I'm gonna call the police.
Can we check this camera you said you got?
You laughed. Can you please open up the door for me, please? It's freezing in here.
in here.
Sir, I'm not going to answer you
You mean out
anymore.
here?
I'm calling the police. Just leave, or you'll get
Call
in trouble.
them. Call them.
Ah! Open! Open! Open!
Terrified,
This
I fall
whole
back and run
interaction
to the kitchen.
is driving
Abby, call the police.
me
Someone is trying to break
crazy.
into our house.
Meanwhile, I locked the back door in the kitchen, and just in case, I kept a knife
Mistakes
in my pocket.
1 through 7.
I went to the
All
dining
right
room
there
and
in
started
that 2-minute
checking all the
interaction.
windows.
Like,
I pulled back the window curtain, and my heart almost stopped at what I was seeing. Just 2 centimeters from my face, hidden behind the curtain, was a clown.
how the fuck
staring
did
at
he
me with
get
a
in the
huge
house?
Grin. I fell to the floor in fear.
How
Slowly,
did he get in the
he picked up
house?
the knife that I had just dropped and walked towards me, his grim gaze frozen on my body. Abby's scream rang throughout the house, but as I turned around, I realized she wasn't looking at me or my attacker. As I looked around the rest of the dining room, my eyes widened in shock. At the start, at least 5 clowns were emerging from the rest of the dining room curtains.
How the
They were
hell
all as creepy
did
as
they
the one
get
front.
in the house?
Had they been there all night? Had they planned this whole situation?
Alan? What's going on?
They seem to be focused on me. Walk slowly to the stairs and lock yourself in with the children until the police arrive.
But
Just go!
Exactly.
After
Stop
Abby
trying
left,
to
I
negotiate
noticed that
and
the
reason.
clown in front of me had stopped walking, but he was still looking in my direction, like all the other clowns. The doorbell rang once again, and a clown walked up to the door and opened it. Suddenly, a familiar voice began to speak, walking in my direction, furious.
Hey, it's Edward. My car just broke. Do you mind if I come into your house and, eat your family?
Enraged, the clown put a gun out of his pocket
Whoa.
and put it to my head. All the other clowns seemed to look worried at what the clown with whom
When
I
do
just had a
clowns carry
conversation
guns?
was about to do.
It's a hood ass clown.
I
right?
watched as the clown pulled the safety off his gun and slowly pulled his finger on the trigger. There was no way I was going to survive. I closed my eyes, waiting for everything to pass as fast as possible. A few seconds later, I felt something cold running across my forehead. When I opened my eyes, the clown was still pulling the trigger, shooting me with a water gun. All the clowns looked at each other, and suddenly, they all burst out laughing.
Why? Why? Why not?
On the side of the room, a clown was
Now
staring
that's a
at me,
twist.
talking while juggling.
Get out! Police are coming! No need for you to clown around too. Your wife finished talking to them 3 minutes ago. We still have about 12 minutes to kill all of you. Why are you doing this? We don't have to have a reason to do this. At first, we just wanted to be popular. Dress up as clowns and attack people and blah, blah, blah.
That's crazy.
But eventually, we got the hang of it, you know, and we weren't interested in fame anymore. We're not part of a cult, we're not part of the deep web, and we definitely don't want to steal from you. We just kill families like yours
Damn.
for fun.
That's crazy.
You're crazy. Doughy, obviously we are. Hey, Jumpy, get the inflator. You know what happens when you use an inflator and helium balloons and shove them down a person's throat?
Ooh.
Please, let me go. Don't you know? Well, neither do I. But after this, we'll have a little time to kill your family. But it will be worth it.
Suddenly, a loud alarm sounded outside my house. All the clowns became nervous and looked at each other.
What? The
They got there
police?
quick as hell.
But this should be like
You're in
9
a
minutes
white
away.
neighborhood.
Oh, guys, the circus is over.
Y'all miscalculated.
Get to the kitchen. Now.
Come on now.
As soon as they showed up
Y'all
at my
not
house,
in the hood no
clowns
more.
were gone. I ran
You're
to the
not
door
in the
and
hood
was
no more.
surprised not to see the police, but my neighbors who heard the shouting and activated the neighborhood alarm.
Ah,
A few
okay.
minutes later, the
Never
police
mind.
arrived.
Never mind.
When
Carry
we
on.
saw the footage of these men at the front door of my
Carry on.
house, we could see that they had been planning this for many nights, examining the front door and surroundings of the house for hours. It wasn't enough for us to learn that the police caught these guys a few weeks later. So we moved out and never talked about it again. Today, I am terrified of clowns. Whenever you see a clown at a circus, restaurant, or in the street, remember to be careful, because what happened to me could happen to any of you.
Final video. By the way, let me know what y'all thought of the last video. I thought the last story was... I thought it was good up until they started just being weird. Like, thought it was good, and then I'm like, why are you on the floor the whole time? Like, get up, do something, fight back something. Like, your life about to get took, and you sitting here playing. But outside of that, I thought it was pretty good. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Let's dive into it.
John J. Gorderi. I'm 26 years old, and I work at a previously local coffee shop. I say previously local because I don't think I'm anywhere close to that place.
We're talking to ourselves again?
Let me start from the beginning. I was working as a cashier that day and taking orders when I saw a person across the street. I didn't think anything of it till hours later when we had little activity and I saw that they were still there. Out of curiosity, I asked the other cashier if he saw the person as well. As they turned up to look at them, they looked confused. "Weren't they standing there like 3 hours ago?" he asked. I replied with a shrug and told him that I was going to check on them. As I headed out the door, I turned around to see most of my coworkers gathering behind the counter. I turned back and took a long look at them. They were wearing a black trench coat, a pair of dirty sneakers, and a baseball cap that looked like it had sat on his head his entire life. "Hey guy, are you all good? You've been standing there for hours now," I called out to him from across the street. He didn't move or show any signs of hearing me. Hesitantly, I walked across the street, and at this moment I know why my parents told me to look both ways before crossing the street, because at that moment I was struck by a semi going well over the speed limit. I don't remember much of that, but what I do remember is that I didn't feel a thing, and the strange man lifted his head slightly, and I saw a ghostly white face and the smile of a man who has no sympathy left. I remember hearing the sounds of my coworkers gathering around me.
Oh my goodness.
One of them was calling the police, and for a short while
I was not
I could
expecting
open
that.
my eyes. I saw the blood starting to pool
Was
around
not
me,
expecting
people
that.
standing over me, but the thing I remembered the most clearly
I thought
was
it was
the other
gonna
cashier
be
was looking
like
around,
a car like
and I didn't
slamming on their
realize
brakes,
this till
swerving
later,
around
that
them,
he was looking for the
not
guy,
getting
which
hit.
implies
Like,
the other
that's
ran
crazy.
or disappeared.
That
I
is
woke
crazy.
up later in a hospital room surrounded by all sorts of equipment and many tubes running from my body. I took a good long look at myself. My right arm and leg were both broken and strung up from the roof. I tried to move my head, but pain shot through my body like electricity. My neck was in a brace, but I could still barely move it, but it still hurt to move it, so I just moved my eyes and not my head. I looked forward and saw a few x-rays, but they were pictures of a leg, a neck, and I think the last one was an arm,
bro.
but it looked like a glass table that had been in an earthquake. As an educated guess, I think they were my x-rays. My leg was broken right at the place where it meets the hip, and my neck wasn't broken, but from what I could tell, something wasn't right. I tried to call out for any nurses or a doctor, but I couldn't produce any sounds. It's a strange feeling when your brain tells you to do something, but you can't. It gives you this feeling of confusion and fear.
I'm
After
still
this
stuck
whole
at that
ordeal
truck.
with not being able to yell,
I'm still
I
right
remembered
there
that
right
hospitals
now.
have a button to
I'm
call a
just
nurse.
having trouble
I used
processing
my
the
left
rest of
hand
this
to
because
feel for
that
it,
shit
and I didn't
just
find one, but either way, I
that
heard the
took
door
me
to the
by
right
complete
open.
surprise.
Something about the footsteps didn't sound right. They sounded uneven or out of time. I don't remember. Whoever they were walked over to my bed and started fiddling with the equipment next to me, and for some reason, I didn't alert them I was awake. But as they were leaving, I must have pushed the button off the bed somehow, because next thing I know, there's a clatter on the wall, and whoever was in my room shambled over to the wall, never looking at me, and picked up the button and set it back on my bed. They started to walk over to the door, but they stopped at the foot of the bed, and for some reason, I closed my eyes like I was sleeping, but opened my left eye just enough to see out of it. The nurse turned to face me, or at least turned her head to me because she had no face. Out of fear for what would happen to me if I did anything, I just sat in the bed and watched as she walked to the door and out into the hall. After a long time, I finally relaxed. Then I started to realize the true scale of my danger, and I let out a silent scream. I will spare you the day-to-day, but after a week or so of the faceless nurses, I became desensitized to it, and I just waited for the nurses to leave my room. They removed my neck brace after a month or so, and I heard from just outside my door some muttering that didn't even sound like a language, but I could make out one word, miraculous, which was probably referring to my recovery. Not long after, they removed my neck brace, and they remove my leg cast. I think after a year in the hospital, I finally worked up the courage to yell out to the nurses, but no one came. Then I tried to.
Could you imagine that hospital bill?
No luck.
Oi.
After that, I realized they don't come when called, they come when they want to. At that, I moved my right arm with my left, which hurt to high hell, but I had to. I threw my legs over the bed and pushed myself up, but instantly I fell to the ground, which I probably should have expected.
You couldn't even move your legs to the side.
And then some.
How you think you about to walk?
I pulled myself up with all my might and threw myself back into bed, and for the next 3 months or so, I threw myself out of bed trying to build my strength, and eventually I did. I taught myself how to walk again. Slowly, I would make my way to the door and then walk back. One day, I tried the doorknob, only to find that it was locked. Each day, I tried to open that damn door, but nothing would come of it. I eventually was able to run and walk like I was before the truck. I had the great idea one day to use the bed as a ram against the door. I grabbed the foot of the bed and pulled it forward. It slid with ease, and as I twisted, I started pushing it at the door with great speed, and within seconds, I slammed into the head of the bed as it slammed into the door. I pulled it back to the wall again and tried again, but still nothing came of it. I tried for days, but then I had a great thought. What if I push the bed at the door when the nurse opens the door? And that's what I did. I waited. She didn't come for weeks, but when she opened that door, I was ready, and I pushed off the wall and slid at the door and slammed into the nurse. And just before I went through the door, I jumped off the bed and started running down the hall. As I ran, I heard a shrill shriek from behind me, and I turned to see what happened. Apparently, those things are incredibly fragile because when I looked at it, it was bleeding this purple liquid from where I had hit it with the bed. It collapsed to the ground with a dull thud. I continued to run without stopping, and as I ran through the halls, the nurses didn't try to touch me. They just kept moving on with their day. As I ran, the walls and rooms became more and more run down and decrepit. As I ran past these destroyed rooms, I saw those things forming from the walls, and these ones were aggressive, but at least for this part, they only came from the rooms. When I made it to the first floor, the hospital was practically collapsing. This floor, the nurses didn't only come from the rooms, they came from everywhere. I started running down the hallway, but as I did, so did the arms and tried to scratch and claw at me. Some of them even got me, but I was running so fast they couldn't get a good grip on me. I ran past the reception desk and through the doors, and when I made it outside, there was nothing. As far as I could tell, the hospital was the only thing that existed there. I didn't care, though, because I just ran and ran and ran without stopping. I made it so far that I could just barely make out the outline of the hospital in the distance. I sat down in the empty field and eventually fell asleep or passed out. It was one of those two. I eventually woke up in the one place I didn't want to. The same hospital I first woke up in.
Why would you fall asleep?
Somehow I knew I wasn't home. I looked around the room trying to get my vision to focus. As I was doing this, I noticed a person sitting in the chair next to my bed. I still couldn't see, but I could make out a baseball hat, a dirty black coat, and a pair of dirty sneakers. I slowly looked up to his face, and I didn't need my vision to focus to know who was sitting next to me.
Alright, that's the final story. What you guys think of that one? I thought it was all over the place, honestly. Towards the end, and I was getting a little bit immersed into it. To see like him running through the hospital and see, but then he just broke my immersion by falling asleep on the ground. Like, bro, what are you doing? But it It was funny him running in up up in the hospital room, laughing, kikiing to himself, like plotting plans. That shit was funny. And then the truck. That shit just came like out of nowhere. The shit went left, like, and we don't understand like what the hospital was for, right? So obviously we got these mysterious creatures in the hospital, and then the guy. So I'm guessing maybe he's like the ringleader of it. Maybe Grim Reaper. I don't know. But obviously he led the guy out to the streets, got him hit by the car because he smiled, right? But like, what were the creatures, right? What was their purpose, right? Like because they were healing him, right? So what was the purpose of that, right? Like of them healing him, if they're gonna keep him there, like what's the purpose? Like, are y'all draining him of something? And then like the rooms that led down further, like as he went down further and further, were becoming more and more decrepit, right? I don't get it. I honestly didn't get it. But it was solid. It was solid. It was okay. But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure, like I said, you comment down below what you thought of all the videos. How would you rate them and stuff like that, so we can interact, we can comment and stuff like that. Hope that you guys enjoy the videos. This second episode, remember, this is our new series called Fright Night Fridays. Every Friday I'm going to be bringing you videos like this, to where I'm reacting to horror stories and or playing a video game. And then, like I said, as we become more engaged, as I see you guys interacting more, commenting more and stuff like that, I want to turn it into a stream session as well, to where we stream these things and we watch them live together, or we do them live together. So I would love to be able to do that. So make sure that you are interacting, commenting, how you like the videos, the type of the videos you would like to see. Like I said, I want you guys to let me know if you come across a video, TikTok video or whatever. It doesn't matter how long it is. You come across something you like, hey, I think this would be good for the channel in black to do. Let me know. I will react to and do all of those things that you guys said, or most of those things. Can't be none crazy, but most of those things that you have suggested in the comment section. So make sure that you are suggesting things in the comments, especially if you are liking this series, so that the series can continue on. Speaking of liking, make sure you are liking the videos that you see on the channel if you are loving the content produced here, because it does help the channel. Smash that sub button so you can become a part of the community. Hit that bell notification off to the side so you can be alerted whenever I go live and post another video like this one. And as always, comment below the type of content that you would like to see created here on the channel. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a great one.